Welcome everybody, Digi in the house. Today guys, we will learn how to create an API, which is an application programming interface in the PHP programming language. We will go through all the steps that you need from the design of an API through to the implementation of it. So before we get started, I just want to go through what an API is, just in a bit more detail so you have a clear picture in your mind of how you could use this API for yourself. If we look at an example of having a website, so here we have our website, and let's say our website is a shop. So on our online shop, users, we find that we are having various levels of success, and through the analytics of our website, we discover that actually there's a lot of people who are on an Android device, and actually there are also some which are on an iPhone. There may even be users who are on a Windows tablet. So each of these platforms means that there's different programming languages. On our website, we've used AngularJS to create our website. On the Android device, this uses Java. For the iPhone, it uses Swift as a programming language. And on a Windows tablet, this could be using C# or C++. Just as an example. What is important when we talk about our website? Content. We always want to deliver the same content to users all the time. If we can get this, we all of a sudden create an experience which is really good for our users. So someone visiting our shop and they are on an Android device, if we can provide them the same content that they see when they go on the website, we have achieved one of our tasks. But we want to deliver an experience that's suitable for the Android device, likewise the iPhone or the Windows tablet. But on the other spectrum, we have to be also very mindful of cost, because having all these different programming languages, it means there is potentially high cost. And another thing which is always important is time. Okay, if we have to develop separate tools specifically for each of these services, it means it takes a long time. Time to market is always important. So this is where an API comes in. And for an API, it sits in the middle. Okay, so here is our example API. And the API is connected to our database. Okay, so here we have our very nice database, all nicely set up. Okay, so once we are on our shop, we send a request to our API, and that sends the request to the database. The database then sends a response back to the API, which then in turn sends the response back to our website. Later on, we go onto an Android device, we log in via our API, it sends a request to the database, gets our user information, and again, it is sending the data back after our login is successful or even failed in this case. It will send a response back, and there we thus see the same content as when we were on the website. Okay, so the same is true for these other platforms. We all want something that's sending information and then receiving back that information in a uniform way. Okay, by having this API in the center, it means we can get a uniform way of sending information to this API and then handling the response back. But we do not need to create separate tools to save the information. Okay, so we in fact are reducing cost here, and we are also reducing any development time. So these are some of the benefits of having an API. In the next part, we will be looking at designing our API. So please stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this, and if there's any comments, feedback for me, please leave them down below. Love to hear from you. Thanks guys. See you in the next video.